Sambonani, Tobela, Dumelang, Goeiedag, good day, Nda, Molweni, Bon dia, Aha, Bana, Yona Mawe, Sebangena Manj. Welcome right here to the King in Me show at Patmos Studio. To all of you, talented, gifted, and potential-filled campeones. And champ, in this particular video, we are going to be talking about your worth. Alright, so if ever you felt like you are not worthy, if ever you felt downtrodden or distraught, then fam, this video is most definitely for you. And on my left hand side, your guys' right hand side, I got Champion Ulrich. Come on, brother. Bring that in over there, champ.
There we
you
go.
look lovely today, bro.
Thank you.
You look extremely professional today, so you're making me a bit nervous over here, champ.
Okay.
But nonetheless, bro, did you always know God? Eh? Because sometimes I think, hey guys, maybe you can relate. Sometimes I think that when we look at people that seem like they have it all together, we think like they've always been like that. That's not the case, champ. Listen, all of us have got weaknesses. All of us are maybe struggling in some area of our lives. All of us are maybe dealing with fears or anxieties and so forth. All of us are on a journey. All of us are on a process. So, bro, how did you get to where you find yourself today, brother?
So I knew of God, but I didn't know Him. So I was in church my whole life, grew up. And I think about the age 17, 18, I got introduced to Him in a new way by joining Doxadeo Church.
Okay.
And from there on, the process started when I did my Metamorpho year.
Which is what Heinrich spoke about.
Yeah. It's
in the previous episode,
exact
right?
same.
Gotcha.
I joined that year and I met God like in personal relationship that year. And my life changed. If the more I look back, the more I see that year meeting God, relationship with Him, true relationship is what changed my life from there on forward. So I knew of Him, but knowing Him personally is something
completely different.
Yeah, it's different.
Well, what do you maybe let's elaborate on that. Like, cool. what do you mean about knowing Him personally? What does that kind of look like? Go for it.
I think if we easily get stuck behind our knowledge of God and we don't open up our lives to Him. So we say, listen, God, I know you, I know the Bible, I know how to pray, I know all these things, but I don't let Him into my life. And the whole sinner's prayer is, God, come into my life. And I think it's that moment where you say, God, these things that I'm trying to control in my life, my self-worth, these bad habits I have, these doubts I have, these fears, I'm just keeping them to myself, where He says, can you just let me in? And if I let Him in and let Him take control over those areas, He purifies us and He loves us to a place where we will never be able to take ourselves. So simply it's allowing Him into those spaces where we usually don't let anyone into.
Come on, because that's the thing, eh? And champs, that's the thing. You know, I think besides us wearing the physical mask during COVID-19 and so forth, I think a lot of the times we wear like these masks. Like, listen, fam, we've been wearing masks way before COVID-19, all right? And I can personally testify of this. We wear all these, fake things and we act like everything's okay. Meanwhile, God knows those, like you're saying, those fears and those bad habits and those things that you are struggling with. And God ultimately wants to set us free, eh, bro? So what is one of the fears maybe that you were struggling with or grappling with coming up as a youngster?
I think one of the big things, and this was a theme throughout my whole life, in school, whatever it was, I never felt good enough. Never.
Bro, I think a lot of folks can relate.
Heavy. And I think especially with social media and whatever is going on, you see this person is traveling here, this one is making this much money at the age of like 20. This guy has this big of a house, and you think, wow, I'm just doing whatever I'm doing, and
like you're just existing.
Like I'm not measuring up. And I think that was a lie I believed most of my school life is, yes, I'm performing and achievements and all those things, but deep down I never felt good enough.
Sure.
And I think that was the area where I tried to fill it with, as I said, achievements and doing this and performing and whatever. And God just came in that my Metamorpho year, my year after school, and He just said, listen, this stops here.
Sure.
I'm only one that can tell you what you're worth.
Powerful.
And I'm never the same.
Powerful, bro. Powerful. And as from my side too, personally, someone who struggled with that, not enough, always trying to go for the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, and then just realizing, Grit, what is the next thing? Because then there's the next thing, and then there's the next thing, and then there's the next thing, and then the thing after the next thing, and then there's just like this constant like grappling. Whereas when God comes and ultimately fills that void on the inside, everything does change, guys. Everything does change, because God, guys, listen, we must understand that God wants to empower us to ultimately achieve true success without you losing your soul. Like, your life genuinely matters to God. When we end off the videos and we say your voice matters, we're not saying that just so we can make up some time, on the reel and stuff like that. No, it's the truth, fam. It's the truth. Your voice does matter. And with that being said, so you literally went from someone not feeling good enough, and now jy's 'n skrywer now, bro. Hey, you're a writer over there, eh? Uyenza kanjalo, yabona le ndaba lena. Uyenza kanje. So you're a writer now, and it's a book that I think can really impact a lot of lives. I've gotten a bit of insight into it, so thank you for that.
Awesome.
Maybe speak a bit about that before we close.
So the book is about, especially written to young leaders and to people that see themselves as called by God to impact the world. If you're young, old, whatever. And the book just asks you the question: are you willing to let God work in you before you want to see Him working through you?
Oh wow! Wait. Let's just pause that. Just pull up the handbrake there.
Okay.
Just say that again, please.
Okay. Are we willing to let God work in us before we want Him to work through us? Basically, we want big fruit in our lives. We want to do big things. We want a big stage. We want a big salary. We want massive influence. But the thing is, God usually works in us way before the fruit of what He's doing through us is seen by people. And we see that in Jesus' life. At the age of 30 He begins, and in 3 years He changes the world. So we have to allow Him to work in us. And that asks of us to let some of the things go. Our entitlement, our pride, our insecurities, our doubts, we have to let it go, and we have to hold on to Him as sons. And learn what humility is, learn what teachability is, learn what obedience is, learn how to be faithful with what God has given us now, not what He's gonna give us now. And then that's how you leave a legacy for people to come, if you understand those principles. So it's still under construction, but
because great things take time, brother.
Heavy.
That's it. Great things take time.
Very psyched about it. So
come on, brother. Do you have any release date as to maybe when?
Somewhere in 2023.
Okay. 100%. So it's going to be a lacquer builder.
Yeah. No, it's
lacquer builder.
This is going to be a big one.
Can you feel the tidal wave coming? A tidal wave of transformation and leadership. That's it right there. But anyhow, brother, thank you so much for your time and being here and just opening up and sharing, brother. I think your story is very relevant because a lot of folk are struggling with that. I think men specifically struggling with that thing of like, am I enough? Do I have what it takes? And we want to just share with every one of you, yes, you do. At the end of the day, you absolutely do, because God thinks you can, and therefore you can. So Ulrich, thank you so much, bro.
Thanks, William,
for being here. Appreciate you. And then to every single one of you watching, thank you for taking the time to be here today. Go ahead and smash that like button over there. Subscribe to, and just know that this video is proudly brought to you by PKF, one of the toppest, largest mid-tier accounting firms, La Mzansi in Pretoria, providing absolutely excellent tax, audit, accounting, and business advisory solutions. With that being said, just know today, namhlanje Guti, your voice matters.